Secret Mom Hacks, episode number 57. My name is Krista, and I'm your host. It's March 6th, 2024, and today I'm really excited to share we're celebrating a big milestone, and that is our 1 year anniversary. Y'all, I officially launched this podcast back on March 1st of 2023, and ever since have rolled out a new episode every single week. We have not missed a beat. So, from me to you, thank you for listening. I now have 50 plus episodes and growing in my back catalog. So, if you're a first time listener, please head over to secretmomhacks.com where you can find episodes covering a ton of secret mom hacks, from breastfeeding and maternity clothes to swim safety, calm parenting, and more. Now, on today's show, I'm thrilled to be bringing you another fun interview. We're talking with my new friend, Debora. She is the owner of Wanderlust Mama Co in Amsterdam, and I think the concept of her business is completely brilliant. She offers family friendly tours of the Netherlands, whether you have toddlers or teenagers. She can curate a unique adventure tailored to your family's needs and interests. She calls herself an outdoorsy mom who enjoys traveling, trying new things, and being out of her comfort zone. She also says providing people with a great travel experience is what she likes doing most. So, we're going to meet Debora and hear her top tips for traveling with kiddos in just a moment. But before we get into that, I just want to say thanks for tuning in, Mama. I started this podcast because babies don't come with instructions. As of this recording, I am chasing around a 5-year-old that no amount of Googling, mom groups, or books were able to prepare me for. There's a lot of stuff people don't talk about when it comes to pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy, and postpartum. And as someone who was previously terrified of childbirth, parenthood, and all that follows, I am here to help you pull back the curtain on all of it. And every now and then, it may get a little messy. We may share a little TMI, but that's why you're here, right? My goal is you will leave every episode feeling refreshed, inspired, and hopeful, knowing you are not on this mom journey alone. Now, there's a lot of subject matter to cover when it comes to mom life, and we are covering it all. So let's dive into my conversation with Debora of Wanderlust Mama Co. I'm really happy to have you on today and excited to get to know you and Wanderlust Mama Company better. Tell us about your kiddos, how many you have, and however much or little of their birth stories you'd like to share.
Thank you. To start with, I have 3 kids. The eldest one is 21. That's a girl. I have a son, he's 8, and the other one is also a son, the last one, and he's 7. So 3 kids in total. Talking about their birth story, it was for all the 3, it was easy peasy, if I can say it like that. It was just an easygoing birth.
That is awesome. Hey, and at the end of the day, all we want is everybody to come out on the other side happy and healthy, right? And if it can be easy peasy on top, that is just phenomenal. I love it.
Correct. I also did. Yeah, for sure.
Well, can you share with us the inspiration behind Wanderlust Mama Co. and what led you to become an advocate for moms traveling with children? Because even just traveling with one, we've taken car trips together, but she has yet to fly. I think that might be coming hopefully within the next 12 months. We're looking at a vacation next year where it will require all 3 of us to board a plane. So, and as someone who I tend to have a little bit of travel anxiety, even just for myself, to then be traveling with all 3 of us can certainly be a little nerve wracking. So tell us your inspiration, and I'm just excited to hear more about your story and all the things you do to be an advocate for parents in traveling.
Yeah. To start with, my eldest daughter, she's 12, she's 21, so 12 years different between her and my middle son, our middle son. And I used to travel with her a lot when she was younger. And during our trips, I realized that there are so many things going on when you travel with kids, of course. You have to think about so many things. And I also like to visiting tours, attended tours with her when we visit the countries. And what I realized was that it was only for adults, to say it like that. You had big groups, you had a lot of information they share with you when you do the walking tours, for example. And I was like, kids do not enjoy this at all. So, based on that, I thought about the concept and I was like, to make it easy for parents. And of course, when you visit a country or a city, you want the kids to get some knowledge also, some culture, some history information. So there must be something else to also enjoy your trip as an adult, as the parents, and also a way that the kids can enjoy the trip also, and to take the stress away, to avoid the stress, because based on that you will get stressy because you're thinking like, okay, what can we do? What is interesting for the kids? Or you just pay attention to the kids, or you pay attention to yourself. And now it's a combination. You can pay attention to yourself as the parents, and you can also make sure that the kids have something nice to do. So that's how I created the concept for Wanderlust Mama Co, to make it as easy as possible for parents when they travel.
It's a brilliant concept. So, when did you start your company?
Officially, I started in 2019. That was shortly before the pandemic came out. So
Mhm.
officially, it's now like 3 years, but I couldn't work. I couldn't offer the service to all the travelers, to all the parents.
Sure. Well, traveling with kids, especially internationally. So, we have yet to take our first family international trip, by the way. In fact, I didn't take my first international trip until the pandemic, Deborah. this is it's so sad. I got my passport January of 2020.
Wow.
And so I got my passport and then the pandemic happened, 2 months later. And or it started really taking off, in March of 2020. And my husband was like, "You've never taken an international trip. We're doing it." And so we did. We went to Mexico. I guess it was June or July of 2020, and it was great, and I appreciated all the precautions that were taken, but it was nerve-wracking for me, even just being an adult and never having traveled internationally. But okay, then you throw kids into the mix. So traveling with kiddos, especially internationally, can be daunting for parents. So, what are some key precautions or considerations that you recommend for families that are planning their first international trip?
Oh, I think as a parent, you have to keep yourself relaxed. Just breathe in and breathe out, because these days it's so easy if you are abroad. You can find everything, you can buy everything, you can communicate in whichever way you wish. So the only thing is it's a different culture, it's a different way as you are used to when you're in your own country. So I think you just have to be relaxed and just be easy and pack the most important things. Don't pack too much because that's not necessary. Don't stress yourself too much and just go with the flow. That's how I do it. And the only thing what I find important is that what I think it's the most important thing is that you can calm down the kids. So if you have some relaxing, that's what I did, relaxing pills for the kids, for if it is a long trip, and it's those are relaxing pills on a natural base, not just how you say that, just
Not
natural.
prescription. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that
What? what would a pill, like every now and then we'll do melatonin. I mean, I take melatonin every now and then to help myself go to sleep. We have
It's
melatonin that's
friendly.
specifically for
Yeah,
kids. Yes.
right.
So would that be an example of a natural supplement you would recommend for
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that's because that helps for for myself when I travel with the kids, and also for them, and also for the passengers in the airplane. And that keeps them quiet and relaxed also, because everybody around is most of the time stressy. It's an adventure. Sometimes it takes a lot of hours to travel by plane. So it's the best for yourself, for the people around, and for the kids. So that would be the only thing I would say that's the most important to take care of. Yeah, that the kids and yourself are really relaxed.
Sure. Speaking of packing, so packing efficiently is essential for any trip. So, what are your top packing tips for parents to just make sure they have everything they need while traveling with kids without overloading their luggage?
The most important thing: underwear, a few shirts, and a few cardigans. I think two cardigans, shirts, two trousers, and I think that's it, because you can just wash them, hang them up, or just put it in the dryer and it's done. So you don't need too much. It really depends on, yeah, of course, it depends on the age also. If you talk about kids from 2 to, let's say, 6, 7, then it's easy going with the shirts and the cardigans. If you have the babies, to say it like that, then yeah, I would do it also as easy as possible. You just can wash the clothes and just throw it in the dryer and it's done. So you can just, cardigans are always the best thing. That's what I always do. Cardigans, two shirts, two trousers, and that's it.
I love that. If I could just remember that every time I pack, I think I would I would be in a much better space. And especially so on the I personally have taken now, I guess, 2 international trips. And we've always carried on. We've not checked bags, and that just makes it so much easier. So and I mean, one of the trips we were even there for like 5 or 6 days. So I think just bearing in mind that you can fit everything you need in just one little bag. You don't need to pack the whole house.
Yeah, true. And especially you have the small bottles, just use some cream or whatever you need in the small bottles. It will last for 5 to 7 days. Of course, when I before we pack the bags or our bags, I always tell them, just check it from the top to the toe. What do I need for my head? A comb. I need some cream for my hair, and that's it. What do I need for my teeth? A toothbrush. So from the top to the toe, you just think what are the most important things, and that's what I take with me, and that's it. I mean, like perfume, for example, for the parents, if you take that with you, I mean, 1, 2 bottles are more than enough. But
Absolutely.
I know people, but it's because I'm easygoing. Of course, I know people around me who would take like 2, 3, how you call it, the suitcases with them, because they want to bring everything with them and feel comfortable. And of course, nothing wrong with that. But with kids, it's not really appropriate. So, no, thank you.
I'm with you. It's like everybody gets one bag and mommy gets a carry on.
Yeah,
Everybody gets one bag, mommy gets a carry on because you know who's managing everybody's bags is mommy.
it's mommy.
Mommy is managing every one of those single bags. So mommy is allowed one carry on because you know everybody else's extras are ending up in mommy's carry on.
True.
So now let's take a quick break. Hey, Secret Mom hackers. Are you a budget savvy family looking for a financial tool that can help you take control of your spending and savings? Well, I've got something fantastic to share with you. Cube Money. Cube Money is the ultimate budgeting solution that's tailor made for families who want to manage their money with ease and precision. Here's why our family loves it: it's just like the envelope system we all know, but digitized. Imagine the simplicity of old school envelope budgeting, but with a modern twist. Cube Money digitizes the envelope system, allowing you to allocate funds to specific spending categories right from your smartphone. It's like having a set of virtual envelopes for groceries, entertainment, and more, all in one app. The whole family benefits. Cube Money isn't just for individuals. It's designed to accommodate the needs of your entire family. You can set up sub-accounts for your spouse and kids, helping everyone stay on the same financial page. It's a powerful tool for teaching financial responsibility to your children. Stress-free savings. Planning for the future is a breeze with Cube Money. You can easily allocate funds for savings goals, whether it's a family vacation, a new home, or an emergency fund. It's all about turning your financial dreams into reality. So if you're ready to simplify your family's budgeting, track your spending with precision, and achieve your financial goals, give Cube Money a try. Visit their website at Cube Money to learn more. That's QUBE money.com to learn more and use the discount code SECRETMOMHACKS, all one word, SECRETMOMHACKS, to get 2 months of their premium or family plans for free. Cube Money, on a mission to see you live more and worry less. Try Cube Money today. Now back to the show. Well, what are some destination recommendations for families looking to have that memorable international travel experience with children while also balancing both adult and kid friendly activities?
You mean just destinations for around the world?
What are just some of your favorites?
Some of my favorites, let me think, because what I said, I'm easygoing, so I always find a way to make the kids have fun or find something to make them find an activity for them. So, my favorite, and it's not the most commonplace, but I don't know if you heard about Malta.
Mm-hmm.
So Malta is, I like it because it's quiet. You have a lot of beaches. Kids can play around. People are really kind also to the kids. If you ask them to take care of the kids when you're in a restaurant, etc., they are not making a whole issue about it. So that's one of my favorite places for families to visit also. And because it's quiet and what I said, it's also a nice island. The other one is one of the African countries, the Gambia, for example. People wouldn't think it's really attractive for kids, but after all my other travels I had with my child, with the eldest one, because I traveled more with her when we traveled alone a lot, that was the first country where she said, "Mom, can we please come here forever?" And the reason why is because people were really warm and welcoming her, and she felt like it was like, this is my place, this is home. To say it like that, she could just go jump around and just get friends. She's very social, but still that was really, a place where I can remember she enjoyed the most. Besides that, for example, we also visited the Dominican Republic, and that was also a place you wouldn't think it's child friendly, to say it, or kid friendly. But also there she enjoyed it because she made friends. She couldn't speak Spanish by then, but she could communicate with the people. She did a lot of activities in the hotel because they had kid friendly activities. We went out with a driver to bring us to special kids parks and everything. So it depends on you as a parent what you can bring in to let the kids enjoy. So yeah, that's it a little bit. We went to Venice and it was also interesting. I mean, there might not be a lot. At some places you're just staying 2 to 3 days and then you just find some activities. We did a boat tours, all those kind of things, and she enjoyed it. So it also depends on your child what their interest is. But in general, if you pay attention to their interests, and that's what I also do with my tours, people inform me about the kids, their interests, and based on that I just create a tour. Because I mean, kids are, for me, when the parents are interested in booking a tour, I find it important that they can enjoy also and that they are relaxed and having fun. So when I travel with the kids, that's what I'm paying attention to. It doesn't matter what it is, like a boat tour or just biking or just walking around. They enjoy it as long as you pay attention to their interest or to them. Yeah,
Sure. Because kids are just naturally curious. Kids are naturally
exactly.
curious, and the simplest things to them can actually become very fascinating. Safety, of course, is a top concern for parents. So, what advice can you offer for parents when it comes to safety and well being of kiddos while exploring new and unfamiliar destinations abroad?
The safety part, these days you have the GPS, how you call it, watches. That's what I would advise. And also you have the what you use to hold the dog on the
Oh, a leash, like a leash or a
and
harness.
a
A
harness. That's the,
harness.
yes. That's what I would advise. I use it myself for especially one of my kids. But for
So
the
funny you
safety,
mentioned that because I remember, Deborah, before I had kids, I would see parents with those harnesses with the leash on it. And I remember
yeah,
thinking, that's just terrible. Why would you do that? And
no.
now, being a parent myself, I don't have one, but I would get one. Like,
Yes.
especially when we do take our international trip, I will be getting one. Sorry,
Mm,
didn't mean to interrupt you, but wow.
no, very good. But that's, I mean, people are programmed to think immediately in a bad way, to say it like that. But like you said, if you think about safety, it's for the child and for yourself. So why don't you put it in if it's just create the safety for everybody? So those are the two things I would really recommend to have with you. Yeah, because if you have more kids with you, you have only two eyes, yes, one pair of eyes. So you're in another country, you have to pay attention to so many things. You're overwhelmed with a lot. And then also paying attention to your kids, that's a lot. I mean, you're just a human being. So if you can bring in some extra safety things that can create extra safety for everybody, why not?
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you. Those are great tips. Budgeting for family travel is important, and I know for a lot of folks that can be one of the biggest barriers to not only traveling domestically but internationally. So do you have any tips for families looking to make international travel more affordable without compromising on quality?
Find it very difficult these days for myself also as a parent to find reasonable prices and still get the quality. If you travel around, of course, but I think everybody knows it these days, when you travel before or after the school holidays, that's the cheapest. But yeah, you cannot really make it like that because you cannot keep the kids from school. So those are the only real options. But at the other side, instead of traveling by airplane, you can travel by train. And most of the time, by train also makes sense if you book the tickets in, yes, months ago, months earlier, sorry. So travel by train to other cities is also a good option.
Yeah, my daughter hasn't ridden a train yet. I've taken the Amtrak here a couple of times and it's so fun. I want to do that some more. I think she would really enjoy that.
Yeah, I get a lot of these days, a lot of families from the UK, for example, and they just told me they just jump on the train and visit Amsterdam, and sometimes they also do Belgium. So the city's close by, and it's just a weekend or a long weekend away, but it's reasonable about the prices, and they can just see other cities. And for kids, it's also a fun adventure.
Yes, going through all of the different towns and countrysides
Yeah.
from city to city. It's really cool.
Yeah, I did it once with my daughter. We went for like 15 hours. We went by train to Croatia. And I, as an adult, I really enjoyed it. And she was like, whoa, it's the first time we went for a camping. So it was an experience on an experience. So it was real fun. Yeah.
Fun, very cool. Well, so speaking of that, I had fun poking around on your social media and getting to know you a little better on Instagram, for example. So you do a great job highlighting your family travel experiences. So can you share maybe a memorable experience where travel had a significant impact on your children's perspective and growth?
Yeah. That's a real impact on my daughter because now she's traveling a lot and not even with friends. She's just booking and travel solo because I just gave her that extra to travel, to get to know other people, to get to know other cultures, to get to know the history of different countries. And that has made a real impact on her. And the fact that when we went to the Dominican Republic, for example, that was one of the things I will never forget also, because what I said, she couldn't speak Spanish by that when she was around 6, I think, but still she made a lot of friends and still she enjoyed the traveling to the Dominican Republic. So those are the small things that kids will remember, that they made friends, they enjoyed it, to have fun with other kids even when they didn't speak the same language or they don't speak the same language. So I think that those are the things that had kind of an impact on, as well as my daughter, as on me as a parent, as a mom. And that was the same experience I had with one, if I can tell another story, with another family from Italy. They once booked a tour, and it was only the father traveling with his daughter from a small village from Italy. But he didn't understand English. And he told me just on a paper that he could not understand English, but he would like to have the tour. So I did a tour. I couldn't speak his language, and I did a tour with hands, with my arms and whatever, with signs and so ever. And he was so, and also the child, they were so happy. So, yeah, it depends on you as a person, what kind of view you have on the world, on the things you do, how you want to enjoy. And it can be the small things that makes impact on your travels. Yeah.
That's a really cool story. That's fun. Thanks for sharing that. In your experience, what are the most common misconceptions or fears that deter parents from international travel with their kids? And what might you suggest to reassure them or provide guidance to help them overcome those concerns?
Parents in general are really strict and protective to their kids. So they are not open most of the time because they are too tight, they are too stressy to see what's around them. So they create a lot of more stress. However, I believe in it that the more open-minded you are and the more relaxed you are, the more you will just let things happen. And I think that's will help the parents, the families, not to be that have so many concerns about all those kind of things going on. Of course, you have to protect your child. Of course, you have to take care of the kids, but just be a little bit more revealing and not that stressy that something will happen or something negative will happen. Just stay positive and believe, especially in the positive things, and then it will work out in a good way. Yeah.
Sure. Believing in the best and being cautiously optimistic, right?
Yeah,
Like being
optimistic.
aware of your
Yes,
surroundings
exactly.
and
Yeah.
being cautiously optimistic.
Because I
Yeah.
do have a few families who also attend the tours, and then some of them are still so sticky, to say it like that. And when I just, because of the kids, also because one is making a lot of noise, one is not paying attention or whatsoever. And that's what I try to tell them: don't worry. In a few minutes, when I do this or when I do that, or when you have the attention or whatsoever, everything will be okay. And you know what? You just go and have a drink, have a coffee, and I will keep me busy with the kids, and everybody is just relaxing. So yeah, it's just also the way you look at different things.
So, Deborah, if somebody wants to work with you, how do they go about doing that? If they want you to help them with a custom experience for their family, I would believe they would go to your website. Tell us a little bit more about if somebody wanted to get started with you, what they would do.
Most of the time, and that's the part why I like to do this, also to work with families. I try to create a personal bound first. First, the connection. And how do I do that? I always, when the bookings are coming in, I reply on them and I ask questions to the families. And that creates an extra bound because we are getting to know each other before they arrive. And I think that's one of the most important things to make the families get the trust also in me and my company, and also before they visit a country that they don't visit before, to make them also feel relaxed about before they arrive. So that's one of the important things and the differences I offer for the families. And yeah, I think that's really important.
What is one tip or trick or piece of advice that you would share with another mama right now?
What helped me when my kids were babies, when they cried a lot or they were unhappy, something was in the way, I just used my carrier, but not the modern carrier. It was just a traditional carrier, just a cloth. I bound it around my body with the kids. I don't know if you know the way they do it in Africa, just behind the cloth around your body and the child into it. And that's one of the best things that really helped me out during those phases where the kids were babies, were young. That was the best way.
Yes, baby wearing. Yeah, I had one of those little, I had a wrap that I would put my daughter in because even just to clean the house or put clothes away in the work on laundry or to just take a walk through the neighborhood, I would carry her. Sometimes she would be napping and I would have her facing me and she would just be cradled, and then other times she would be wide awake and happy, and I would have her facing out and her little,
Yeah.
hands and feet, going all over the place. Baby wearing is the best. She's 5 now, and there are many days that I still wish that I could just strap her to me and
And
walk
just go.
around and do
Yeah, yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. That was
No,
just,
now it's that struggle of like, honey, get your socks and shoes on and please do what I've asked and get in the car. And my goodness, if you were, half your size, I could put you back on me and wear you everywhere.
yeah, that is so easy. And of course, everybody, or just these days, you know what the reason is about it. But when I was younger, I didn't realize what kind of impact it could have on the child, on the baby. And I had the experience myself. It's perfect for everybody. If you have a child that's a baby, you that's really not relaxing, something is going on, cry a lot or whatsoever, please try that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And there are lots of great wraps and carriers, and just about any way you would want to attach that baby to you. There's lots of different
Yeah.
ways
Yeah.
you can do it. Yes. That's really smart.
Yeah, also for traveling, that's perfect because you have your arms free, your hands free, and you can just do whatever you have to do. So it's, yeah, also a good tip for when you have to travel and the child or the kid is still small.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks once again to Debora for making time to speak with me and being a part of Secret Mom Hacks. Don't forget to check out her socials linked in the show notes at secretmomhacks.com/episode 57. I'm curious what your favorite part of our interview was. I hope you're walking away inspired with tips either for yourself or that new mom you know. If that's the case, please follow me on your favorite podcast platform if you haven't already. Give me a 5-star rating and leave a review sharing your favorite takeaway so far. You can do all of that by going to ratethispodcast.com/secretmomhacks. Don't forget to stop by secretmomhacks.com where you can find transcripts, resources, and more. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and until then, you've got this, mama.